All right, I'll start. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm Angela York. I'm the co-founder of Custom Strategic Marketing for Wealth Advisors. I have worked with advisors in the marketing space for over 2 decades in the areas of marketing implementation and event planning. And we specialize in custom strategic marketing for wealth advisors in this new marketing world that we're living in. And I'd like to introduce my business partner, Elise Stoner, also co-founder of Custom Strategic Marketing.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm hopeful that we're going to get a few more people come rolling in. So I'll talk very slowly to give them some time. I'm Elise Stoner. I, as Angela said, am a co-founder of Custom Strategic Marketing for Wealth Advisors. I bring years of marketing strategy and event marketing strategy to our team. I kind of grew up, in the sports and entertainment world, where we were very focused on who we're marketing to. You know, a person who's coming to a truck pull is different than a person that's coming to the Ice Capades. So I am able to bring that to our clients and really be able to understand who the ideal client is and making sure that you're speaking to them in their language, in their space, so that they're receptive to your message, and so that they do the things that you want them to do. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our speaker for today. Help me please welcome Diana Carbrices. She's a vice president of enterprise development at Snappy Kraken, which is an award-winning automated growth program focused on lead gen and client engagement for financial advisors. Diana's worked with thousands of financial advisors and companies on modern marketing strategy, along with succession planning, M&A, recruiting, and more. So we are super excited to have Diana here today to share her insights on marketing and how Snappy Kraken can be a great partner. And Diana, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, Elise. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Rosalie, for setting this up. We love having a Snappy Hour with advisors. It's just a space where we can collaborate, we can share ideas and inspiration with each other. And depending on the time of the day, you know, you might be having a beverage, you might be having a tea or a coffee. I've actually got, it's kind of hard to see with the blur, but I've got a little Kraken right on my cup there. He's hanging out with me today. So let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen here. And we're going to talk about quite a few different things. I've got an agenda prepared. I just like to make sure everybody knows when you get to speak or work with the folks at Snappy Kraken, you know exactly what we're going to cover in the session that we have. I also want to encourage everyone on the line with us, the chat, the Q&A box, right? If you want to say something, if you want to share something, especially your experience, that's just so invaluable for all of us to share. Please feel free to drop that information in the chat. We will have some polls throughout the session today, so we would hope that you'll want to collaborate with us. So let's kick this off. Why are we here? What are we going to learn? Well, we're going to talk about a few different things. I want to first and foremost thank Angela and Elise for the partnership that we have together. We are very complementary to each other, right? Because where Snappy Kraken doesn't necessarily go as deep, they are there to go deep with you and to help you really create that more holistic, full spectrum marketing strategy with the complement of what Snappy Kraken can do for you. So it looks like, okay, chat is disabled. Not sure if we're able to enable that. That's okay. For now, the Q&A box is not, so that's good news. Just use the Q&A box to add in any information or feedback, especially as I launch the poll. So no worries at all. All right, so let me move this box out of my way. And this one too, here we go. And we're gonna look at our agenda. I figured coming into today's Snappy Hour, some of you might not necessarily know what Snappy Kraken is. You're probably thinking what kind of company names their company after a sea creature, but there's a method to the madness there. We're going to cover it. We'll talk about the Cold to Gold framework, which is our framework for how to market and build more deeper connections with prospects and clients at the right time and in the right phase of where they are in the relationship with you. We'll also talk about the power of nurturing your prospects. Here's what I always say. Your lead generation efforts are only as strong as your nurturing efforts. So if you have leads coming in the door, but you have no net, right, to capture them and then nurture them along the way, then what do you have? So we're going to talk about that. You're going to get a bonus micro email template just for being here with us. We'll also talk a little bit about using open loops for engagement. Open loops are something that great movies use and something that great marketing uses as well. And then finally, we'll wrap it up with some mindset shifting. You're probably thinking, what does that mean? Touchdown versus volley, but we're going to get there. So I'm going to start high level. I'm going to start with the fundamentals of today's session. What is Snappy Kraken? For those of you who just don't know who we are, or what we do. So we are an automated growth program, as Elise was saying earlier and sharing. But what we've done is we've combined a few essential elements of your marketing into one single program. That's original content. And when I say that, I mean content that's not third party, like a Forbes article or a Bloomberg article with your logo slapped on it. What I mean by that is content that feels that as though you completely created it yourself. You wrote that email, you created that landing page, you put all the marketing together. You're the one that put together that helpful guide on hidden tax opportunities. It is in your voice. It is your reputation. It is your logo, your company information. It is not, that does not appear to be third-party content. Now, yes, we are creating the content for you, but the cool thing about Snappy Kraken is we actually started as a marketing agency, right? We have a full-blown magic factory within our company, and yes, that is what we call it. We have designers, we have creators, we have website developers, market researchers, analysts, and together they're powering the content that we create. And if you've never heard of us before and you start to hear of us more now, right? Murphy's law of attraction, then what you'll probably hear is we have the best content in the industry when it comes to any automated done for you tool. And I absolutely agree with that. So original content, it helps create more meaningful connections faster than that third-party content with your logo slapped on it. That's one of our pillars. But we've combined that with the technology. And here's why that's important. You can have all the great content in the world, but if you don't have a system to automate it, to reach more people, to help you scale so you can still run your business and be a financial advisor, then what do you have? Right? So it's very important to combine the original content with the easy automation, with that technology. Marketing automation is very important, right? It lets you publish emails automatically. It lets you schedule your social posts for the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That is the point of automation. And I'm going to talk about how automation can go really wrong and where we have seen it go wrong with so many advisors and why what Angela and Elise are doing is so, so important, right? We know advisors need help. The last pillar is proven results. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's a big, bold statement. What does that really mean? Well, that cold to gold framework that I alluded to earlier, when you follow our process, we're very, very methodical. We spent many years crafting a process and recrafting it over and over again. And then we're still crafting it. I will say that, right? And things are always changing. Marketing is always changing. But when you follow that process, it will lead you to proven results. Your goal might be lead gen. Your goal might be prospect nurturing. Your goal might just be to stay in better touch with your clients. Well, we have a process for all of those things. In fact, it all ties together. Follow it, it will lead you to some results. Now I'll spend about 30 seconds talking about the name. Where did the name Snappy Kraken come from? Well, the Kraken itself, folks, it is very representative of our technology. And we knew we wanted something alive, something animated that's very powerful in a brand to speak to what the technology does. So you think of an octopus, you have one central hub, it's the head. Okay, that is the main brain of Snappy Kraken. But then you have all the tentacles. What are those tentacles doing on Snappy? Well, they're connecting to your CRM to sync your prospects and your clients back and forth. Or it's publishing on social for you. Or it's building out landing pages with your logo automatically populated. Or it's sending all of those thousands of emails for you every single month. right? So there's so much to say about it, but that's where the Kraken comes from. We wanted to throw something snappy in front of it because we like to say you can do your marketing in a snap. And funny story, the original name that was pitched to our CEO was Charming Octopus, which he quickly turned down. I'm so glad I don't have to represent a company called Charming Octopus. Snappy Kraken's a lot better. Okay, we're going to talk about automation. So I mentioned a moment ago, automation, it helps you scale. It helps you almost become part robot, right? That's what we're seeing here on the screen. But where does automation go wrong, right? Because now everything's becoming automated, right? Your emails, your marketing, your business, your account opening, everything's becoming automated. In a world where automation is actually taking over, it's the human aspect, the emotional aspect that's actually going to help you win in business. You cannot just automate content just to check that marketing box off of your list, right? Content for content's sake. Content like that is canned and bland. It's boring. It's often, made up of stock images that everybody else is using. It's also pretty unauthentic. What marketing content am I talking about? Well, hey, I'll just be up in front, right? There's companies out there in financial services that offer marketing automation, and that's where they invest all of their resources for their company. They invest in their technology. Oh, we've got AI. Well, you can automate anything. It takes seconds. And that all sounds really attractive until you start digging deeper in their actual content. And it's all of those things, right? It's boring. It's not moving the needle. And then you have to really peel back that layer and ask yourself, well, what's the purpose of marketing then? The purpose of marketing is not the technology. It's not automation. The purpose of marketing, okay, arguably, but the purpose of marketing is engagement, right? That's why we market. We want to get engagement. We want people to know who we are. To do that, you need quality content. Quality over quantity. It doesn't matter if you're automating one thing a month. I'd rather you automate one thing a month that's of quality, that's proven, that's stunning, that's visually digestible, informative, than automate 10 articles that just don't really move the needle, just don't connect with your audience. So quantity over quality. Sorry, quality over quantity. All right. When we built Snappy Kraken, we built the program, and this is kind of the wrap of what Snappy Kraken is. We took all the pain points from what we had been hearing from advisors over the years. And this is where I'm going to ask some of you to engage with me if you're willing. Go in the chat, go in the Q&A box. I know the chat's disabled, but I want you to think about some of these personalities, right? These personas. And I want to hear what you might resonate with. But from our conversations, we heard advisors saying, hey, my content's getting ignored. Okay, well, we dig deeper, and it's usually, right, those canned content libraries that they're using. Or I've wasted a lot of time on failed marketing experiments. I've tried to do it all on my own. I'm not a marketer, but I tried because I wanted to just own that part of my business. I don't need to outsource. I don't need to pay a bunch of money. I've burned loads of cash if I've tried, right? I've been promised silver bullet marketing programs. Nothing in marketing is a silver bullet. I know Elise and Angela would tell you that time and time again. It takes time. And finally, we've had plenty of advisors, especially in 2020, come to us and say, we're not doing any online marketing at all. It's okay. You might still be in that bucket, and that is totally okay. So we took all of these pain points. Oh, yes, go ahead.
I think the other thing that goes in here, which we talk about a ton too, is, and I mentioned it in the intro, talking to people in their language. So it kind of ties into this canned and bland content. The thing that's kind of cool about Snappy is it speaks like a human, but you can really understand and find content that is going to speak to your ideal client. If your ideal client is somebody who is, maybe it's a woman in her mid-30s who is pondering a career transition, there's content that speaks to that. It's not just a canned, hey, here's a retirement strategy, because it's very different. So I think that's the other thing that Angela and I really like about what you guys are doing, because it takes into account, again, meeting people where they are, not just, we think that this client should learn about this. That's all.
What you talk about may not necessarily be what your audience wants to hear.
Exactly.
I love that. And that is so on point. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well, because that is also the beauty of having a great content partner. You have such a diversified portfolio of marketing topics and campaigns that are, again, still quality, but we all know what this campaign might move the needle for this person. It may not do it for that person. So I love that, Elise. In fact, if any of you are willing to engage with us, we want to hear from you. This is our first poll. I know, again, if you can't use the chat, just feel free to jump into the Q&A box. But I'd like to know which one resonates with your past marketing experiences. Oh, awesome. Okay, I love this. Thank you so much. I didn't realize we actually had real polls. So you don't have to use the Q&A box. You can literally just hit the buttons on the screen. Again, no pressure, but we'd love to hear from you. This is so insightful, even for us, right? So we can continue to get better at serving you in all areas. Yes.
And Diana, I was going to jump in while we're waiting. Not only, one of the reasons we love Snappy so much is the different content that reaches the clients or prospects where they're at, but the medium that you're reaching them. So they could either, some people may not be on social media. They may want email, they may want texting, and the different modalities that you offer to be able to meet the client where they're at with the content that is what they're looking for is what's such a nice blend.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for that, Angela. You're spot on.
And it's so hard to do it manually. I have sat
Oh my gosh.
in the advisor's office for almost a decade and trying to do it. And we didn't have all the technology that we do now, but to try and do it manually and take a piece of content and then get your email list, send it out via email, and then repurpose it for social media. And then, oh, we need a blog, or, oh, now we need it. It's very time consuming and a lot of room for error. And it's difficult.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Not efficient.
It's not efficient. It doesn't help you be a better financial advisor. And that's not what we want, right? We want the opposite of that.
Yeah.
And it looks like we've got some folks here who, they've been through that, right? They've tried their own thing with their own marketing, probably quickly realized, oh my gosh, I don't have time to maybe even write more than one piece of content a month. Burning cash with no results, doing nothing at all. If that's you, hey, don't feel bad. It happens. There's still advisors not doing any marketing in 2022. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. Let me go ahead and end this poll. Oops. Okay. I accidentally exited out. I don't think it will let me end it. Rosalie, maybe if you want to run the next one and end it for us, that way I don't mess it up. That would be awesome. There we go. So let's share those results. Looks like we're all kind of falling in 2, 3, and 4 categories, which, it makes a lot of sense. It's very common. It's what we've heard. I want to go back and talk a second about something that Elise was alluding to with, what are you actually putting out in front of people? Is it relevant to them? Is it something that they even want to read and engage with? That is a lot of what this cold to gold framework focuses on. So what do we mean when we say cold or gold? Well, we are supporting you with digital marketing, right? That is what we do at Snappy Kraken. And I'm not saying digital marketing should be your only strategy. There's, in fact, a lot of traditional advertising methods that are going to become even more effective now that everything has gone digital. But in the digital space, you have to think about what it takes to actually build some trust with someone, right? Get them to even have a conversation with you. And then you have to compare that with, say, hosting a dinner seminar and shaking someone's hand and having a conversation with them. And how much more quickly you built credibility with that person in person than what you could have achieved online from one interaction, right? Be it I opted into your newsletter, or I opted in on your website. That's the kind of digital interactions that we're having. So in order to get to that same end goal, which is getting new clients and then creating them into raving clients, we actually have to take a different pathway. There's a different methodology to get to the same goal. And many of you are used to those more traditional, ways of meeting people, referrals, people coming in your office. That's okay. But we know if you want to scale, right? If you want to grow, if you want to do this while still being able to have time for you, your family, your business, Digital marketing is the answer for that, right? And everything is going digital. People find you digitally. Your reputation is built digitally more than ever before. So let's start on the cold side, right? When somebody doesn't really know you, well, the first thing you have to do is actually get noticed. Elise and Angela, is the poll still on the screen or is that gone for you guys? Okay, good. I just want to make sure it's still there for me, but that's okay. There we go. Got it. So you have to get noticed first and foremost. And in order to get noticed, right, when you think about all the digital inundation online today, in order to get noticed in an email inbox, in a social feed, right, you have to have some pretty bold content. Your subject lines have to be bold. They have to evoke curiosity. And your social post the same, right? The design of it all needs to be very easy and catchy to the eye. And the content itself needs to be interesting to people. Once you start getting that attention and people are looking at your content, they're clicking on your content and engaging, what we call impressions. Well, now we actually need to get them from just engaging with your content to actually raising their hand and saying, here's my contact information in exchange for this really valuable campaign or offer you have here. That's what Elise was saying, right? It's got to be compelling and relevant to them. It's what's in it for them. It's not about you. We're not marketing to talk about ourselves. We're creating content that's helpful for people and provides a lot of value. For a woman in her 30s, as you mentioned, changing careers, some campaign around that specifically is what's going to be interesting to me. For someone who is facing retirement and navigating the world of Social Security, they're not going to click on that content. But if you have a campaign on that exactly on Social Security, how to claim, when to claim, what are the pros and cons of depending on your age and you claim, that's the kind of content that they're going to opt in on. So it has to be compelling and relevant to them. When you're creating content like this, think about the most questions you get asked by your clients and your prospects. Think about the common threads in the conversations that you're having. Those are golden nuggets for creating content that's going to attract more of similar types of clients, if that's what you want, of course. Now, once you start getting the opt-ins, right, you start getting people that raise their hand, give you their email, sign up for that newsletter, drop their phone number. Well, this is great. Now you have a pipeline. Now you have a pipeline of information and people and humans that you can continue to engage with. This is where most advisors fall off, right here. They do a few marketing things, they get the lead, and then they kind of fall off with that lead, unfortunately. But you can't fall off, right? You have to build credibility. You have to keep them on that list. You have to keep sending them valuable content. That's how you build credibility. You educate, you educate, you educate. Now, with all of that content, while the voice might sound a little different in a nurturing campaign, which falls perfectly in the middle of this framework, versus the lead gen campaign, which was more focused on the left when I talked about getting noticed and earning contacts, you want your content to always be action focused as well. So every nurturing email that you send to keep the conversation going with those prospects. And yes, your nurturing email should talk about the same topics that they opted in for in the first place, Social Security, for example. You always want to give them a way to talk to you. Ask them a question. Tell them to reply with their thoughts, right? People love sharing their opinion, right? Put your phone number there. Put your calendar link there. Always let them know that you're there to talk. This is how you start conversations, right? So now we're 4 phases down this framework. So your content has to be focused around starting conversations. That might be difficult for you, right? And that's exactly why Snappy Kraken does what we does. That's why Angela and Elise support as well. And they help you with this strategy. It might be that starting a conversation at this point in the pipeline is inviting them to your office, or having a wine tasting, hiring a sommelier, for example, if you're targeting high net worth, ultra high net worth, and bringing them in the door. Or it just might be dropping your calendar link and encouraging them to schedule time. Once you have that opportunity or opportunities, this is where you can win clients. So you see here, we're in the big yellow circle, and it says, your personal sales process runs here. That is very true, everyone. It does. Now, we could talk more and more about sales, but we'll keep it focused on this. Sales and marketing, though, brother and sister. Brother and sister. One example of that, if you did invite someone into your office, they walked in, they were not greeted, the office smells bad, what's the chances of them actually becoming a client? It actually just went down. The office smelling and the greeting, that's marketing. Marketing is creating experiences. So very intertwined. Now, if you win the client, awesome, woohoo. But now we know it doesn't stop there, right? I'm actually speaking a little bit later today on another webinar where we talk about client communications. And there was a survey that was done where it shows, based on, I want to say about 650 investors, it's not a super large study, but it shows that clients don't feel communicated to enough by their advisors. And they actually prioritize communication and the frequency of that over the portfolio performance that you're telling them you can achieve for them. It's not just about investing anymore. It's not just about the investing return. It's about the investor return. So we want to have that communication flowing with them. By the way, I did not coin that statement. Carl Richards did. I love him. He's awesome. But it just really hits, right? It's about the investor, not the investment. So how do we deepen the relationship? How do we stay in touch? Timely emails are crucial. Newsletters that go way beyond just finance and bonds and stocks and market performance. We want to talk about lifestyle as well, right? So when you do that, when you engage with your clients more and more, guess what happens? You turn them into ambassadors of you and your brand. And then they're going to start telling their friends and their family, and they're more inclined to share your information. And you can see what that does here at the bottom of this framework. It creates that referral streamline.
Absolutely. And sorry, one of the things that we talk about because of my background is that's the place where you turn clients into fans. And think about like your client as a season ticket holder and how they're going to communicate the experience that they have had with you, or like think about it if you've had a experience with your favorite sports team. You're going to talk to other people about that. That's this place where we want to turn clients into fans.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great analogy. It's all emotional experiences, folks. It's not just finance anymore. It is the emotional experience they have when they work with you. Okay, I wanted to launch a poll about the framework. And I want to know where maybe most of you might struggle within the framework. Is it getting noticed and earning contacts? Is it that lead gen portion for you, getting noticed, your brand in and of itself? Is it building credibility and nurturing those prospects as that pipeline builds? Is it starting conversations and setting appointments from your nurturing content? Or is it really just keep engaging with your clients and keeping them engaged? Rosalie, do we have a poll for this one?
Hey there. So I think this is the updated deck, Diana. I don't see a poll for this specific question. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. Because I noticed the first question was perfectly aligned to the updated deck. So I figured we had more. Don't worry at all.
Yes,
Q&A,
yes.
if any of you want to drop into the Q&A, let us know. What are you struggling with? Is it lead gen? Is it prospect nurturing? Is it client engagement? And if you don't want to answer, that's fine too, because we've done this before and we pretty much know based on data from thousands of advisors, it's usually a combination of all of them, right? It's all of these things. And that's okay. Again, that's why programs are built. That's why consultants like Angela and Elise exist in the space, because we know you need help with your marketing. Okay, now we're gonna move, I'm gonna move this Q&A box. Sorry, folks. We're gonna move into the second half of today's Snappy Hour. I hope you're still enjoying your drink, whether that's a coffee, a tea, a beer. I totally wouldn't judge if you're having a beer right now. We just got our first snowfall in Colorado for the very first time this season. It is my first winter living in Colorado, so I am scared as ever. I'm from the South. I don't do snow, but it looks really pretty, and the hot tea definitely helps. It creates the vibe. So
wait, you moved from Florida, right? Weren't you in Miami?
yeah.
Where
it's definitely not snowing right now. yeah.
That's
Remind
awesome.
me, Angela and Elise, where you two are located.
I sit just outside of Philadelphia. We haven't had snow yet, but it's coming.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in Orange County, California, and I'm like you, Diana, we don't have snow often, unless you go to the mountains, but
maybe I'll just come visit you.
come visit anytime.
Okay, well, let's move into this next half. I asked you that question a second ago on the poll, what do you struggle with the most? And I mentioned, really, most advisors struggle with everything on that list. And that is true. But I want to focus on one particular section because I think this is where it's a lot more simple than you think to get better results. And that is in the nurturing part, right? The building credibility. So you might have a lot of different lead sources coming in for your business. You might be getting media interviews. You might be part of these different, financial advisor networks that pass leads your way. You might be doing some traditional advertising. You might be doing events in your community. Depending on what that is, you're likely having a few different sources of leads, referrals as well. And that's great. But now you need to have a system to make sure you're continuing to build that credibility with them, because we know not all of them are going to convert right away. And the ones that don't convert right away, one of the biggest reasons for that is because they're just not ready, right? It's just like us going to shop on Zillow, looking at homes, because in 2 years, we know we want to buy that house, but we're just looking right now. And we put our email in. And if they fall off, right, then maybe we go to another platform, because that platform where we also put our email in is connecting with us on a weekly basis, is constantly sharing value with us about the housing market and about, the buying decision, the emotional journey, all sorts of cool different content around the topic. This is what I'm getting at for you, is if you stay top of mind, those people that aren't ready now, when they are ready, they will come to you, right? When that life transition happens, they will come to you, because you stay top of mind by continuing to add value to them in the relationship with your digital marketing. So this is where we do a mindset shift, okay? A lot of advisors, and I'm not saying this is true of any of you on the call, it might not be, we're all evolving, which is great. But a lot of the advisors over the years have looked at leads as like, okay, this is a touchdown, right? And then they even go as far as saying, well, those leads didn't answer the phone, they're junk, I'm never calling them again. But remember what I just said, it's about when they're ready. It's not necessarily that they're junk or they're fake. Some of them might be. If the email is bouncing, please remove them from your email list. But we don't want to give up on our prospects. We don't want to give up on those leads. We want to nurture those leads instead. And so that's why on the right-hand side, you can see where I have put a subscriber, right? A new newsletter subscriber, or I knew you'd love the sports, Angela. Or at least, sorry, both of you, I'm sure love it. But this is where we want to change that mindset, right? So it's a volley. Now we're going back and forth, and we have the opportunity to create that dialogue. That's what this is about. It's about creating a dialogue. This is how you can do that with our program, and if you're creating things on your own. Number one, I've got that grayed out for a reason, right? That's a campaign structure with all the automation built in, and the content and the lead magnets and all the nurture emails following up with everyone, all the promo channels built in. That's how we create leads for you. But now, since we're focusing on nurturing, look how different that campaign looks from number one. Right, so as you get those leads in from that first type of campaign, which is very unique, right? It's more salesy, it's reaching out across a lot more channels. Well, now we're going to get really personal with the people who actually opted in. And remember, based on what they opted in on, be it Social Security, be it women empowerment, be it tax opportunities, be it I'm a business owner and I'm looking for help with exit planning, then all those emails in that nurture series should be on that exact topic, okay? So connecting the marketing dots, creating congruency is what we call that. Now, you'll notice that there's no social posts. It's just emails. And within those emails, there's some videos of you. There's language that builds up the value of working with you. There's value added along those financial topics, whatever they might have opted in on. But here's what they're not. They are not your company's newsletter. They are not an email with a perfectly created template block with color that's from your company. They're literally just text-based emails. Again, you might have a video, you might have a photo of yourself to personalize it further. But what I'm saying is we don't need the design, we don't need the colors. That's actually not as important right now. And as I mentioned, in a world where we can tell when things are very automated, this is actually going to take you back in time a bit and going to make it feel as though you're more personal, because you sat down and you wrote that email to that prospect. That's what they think. That is the power of just personal text-based emails. That's how simple it gets, folks. You don't have to overcomplicate it. This is the strategy here that gets our advisors at least 14% better open rates than industry averages. It's just personal text-based emails. If you're looking a little close, it might be hard to see for some of you. The subject lines, right? That also really matters because we need to get people to actually open the email, right? They're not going to open the email if they can't see what it's about, right? That subject line has to evoke curiosity. So Social Security optimization review, unconscious money scripts. Sometimes we'll do like a, I have something exciting, or we'll put their name in it. There's so much science on this. There are email subject line optimizing tools you can use that help you decide if this is a good subject line. Is this going to get open rates? Is this going to get engagement? Okay, we have a question coming in. Let me see if I can pull that up over here. What are the industry averages? We've got an anonymous attendee. Well, hello, anonymous attendee. It really depends. It's a little bit all over the place. Industry averages are likely riding around 10% open rates, 10 to 15. But as you see advisors that start using the tools that are actually doing the right thing, that have the right content with the right positioning, those skyrocket. In fact, I have something I can show you. Last week, I was at a conference and I met an advisor who started using our technology. And he came up to me and he says, Diana, he says, I am floored. He says, here we go. My email, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Let me turn off my blur. This is too important not to share. He says that my email open rate is now 70% using Snappy Kraken. Can you see that 70? I know it's flipped. That's with his clients, okay? His prospect list, I want to say, booted up to about 40%. Those are astronomical open rates. When you start Googling, and you should Google this information, it's always changing, but I want to say it's probably around 10, maybe 15% tops right now. You'll see, wow, that's pretty high. And that's usually what our averages are at Snappy Kraken. That's why Angela and Elise partnered with us, right? Our content performs, and it's for all the reasons that I'm sharing with you, and then some. Now, let me put my blur back on because I am embarrassed to share this very messy background that I have here. I am in the process of redoing my full office. So you just got a sneak peek of that. But yes, again, I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing right now? Are you currently automating any of your prospect or lead follow-ups? Are you automating any of that? If you want to pop in, let us know. The last time I asked this question, I had 1 yes and like 8 no's. And that was just mind-blowing to me because, again, automation is a table stake at this point. So you can scale your nurturing. Now you know what's the better way to do it. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about using open loops, because in that content you're sending, you never want to give everything away. If you gave everything away, right? I could tell you so many more things right now about how to do better with nurturing. I'm not going to give it all away, right? Not because I don't like you guys, but because that creates that dialogue that we want, right? I want to talk to you guys after this webinar. I want you to look more into Snappy Kraken because I'm not passionate about what we do and how we can help you. But you want to give them just enough so that they feel as though, wow, you've really added a lot of value to the perspective that I have on this financial topic. I can more easily navigate it, but we also want to leave them at the end with wanting more, right? We want them to ask more questions. We want you to go as deep enough so that they know you know your stuff and they need to work with you in order to answer their questions and solve their unique situation.
It's interesting. I love this idea. We talk with our clients a lot about this in the open loops, call to action. There's lots of different ways that you can label it, but I think it is, like you said, it's this fine line of establishing yourself as the expert, and kind of showing that you've done the time to become that expert. I find this a lot in marketing, right? Because a lot of our friends are financial advisors and they do marketing, but the experience that you bring there, it's going to take them years to figure it out. So people are like, oh, well, I could just invest like with Robinhood or something. But the extra value that you bring with your experience, that's the difference. That's the key in all of this. So I find even sometimes is you can give away more than you really think you should, because people aren't going to do it themselves. Or they're going to try it themselves and go, okay, that didn't work. Now I need somebody to help me either clean it up or do it the right way.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying earlier, right? Like in an automated, digitized world, it's the human component that's going to help you win. And no one can take that away from you, not even a robo-advisor. So leverage that. That's so important. You might recognize the picture on this screen. You might not. If you've never seen Batman versus Superman, plug your ears, put me on mute, because there's a little spoiler alert here. But we all know what happens at the end of that movie, right? At the end of the movie, when we all thought Clark Kent was dead, the dirt on top of the coffin starts shuffling around a little bit, and then the scene cuts. And we're all like left hanging on the edge of our seats, right? That cliffhanging moment where we're like, oh my gosh, well, now we need to see that next sequel. We need to see the next film. What happened? That's what using open loops can do too, right? They can help you kind of get them on the edge of their seat a bit to say, oh man, like these are things I need to know. This is an example of how we do that at Snappy Kraken. So this is a campaign. It's a lead gen campaign called the Retirement Income Teeter Totter. And what you can see here is we're giving them blocks of information that's going to help them, give them things to think about, but then we're asking a bunch of questions underneath that go deep. And then again, that position you as that thought leader, as that expert that you are, and leaves them not feeling like they need to talk to you. They need to have that follow-up with you, because now they're thinking about, does their pension options even provide contingency for their spouse? Right? They didn't even think about that before. Right? Those are the open loops that I'm talking about. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, this sounds like a lot. This sounds like a lot. There's no way I'm going to be blowing up my clients and my prospects every single week. You know, why would I want to continuously have all these things automated? Why do I need to be on all these channels? Well, we get that. I'm going to back that up here with two things, with some data and with some psychological principles. So the mere exposure effect, you might have heard of it. You might have also heard of it. It's referred to as the familiarity effect. This essentially tells us that repeated exposure to something over time increases the preference for that thing over time, usually, right? Think about an ad that you might have been targeted with 1 million times and you never really clicked on it. And finally, like the 10th time you saw it, you finally clicked on it. And maybe you even went in and you bought those shoes, right? Or you connected with that, business expert, whatever that funnel might have looked like, that ad. That's the mere exposure effect, right? You grow familiarity. The same thing happens with brands, with people. So we think that, one email a week is too much, but it's actually not. It's just the right amount of content. In fact, this is based on a lot of data. So at Snappy Kraken, we take all of our campaigns, we analyze all the data points. This is the beauty of having a partner like us, because we're working with so many advisors who are launching different variations of our campaign. So we can see, where are things falling flat, where are they not? And what we've learned, 2 advisors using the same content for different audiences in different locations, the frequency is different, the lead count is different. So our average performing advisors are only sending about 1 email, 1.6 emails to their contacts a month. And they're pulling in about 6.8 leads per campaign. But then our top performing advisors are doing that 4.3 emails a month, about 1 email a week. Like I said, that's that sweet spot number. And they're getting more than double the amount of leads generated per campaign, 15.8. So again, same content, different frequency. And that really, really speaks to the mere exposure effect. I am curious how many emails some of you might be sending to your prospects or your clients each month. Again, if you can't pop into the Q&A box, no worries at all, but you should at least send 1 email a month at least, right? You can see that's sort of our average performing users. If you can do 1 a week with some valuable content, then do it. If your content's not valuable, if you're not working with anyone creating content for you, you don't have the time, maybe reconsider how frequent you're communicating, because again, you don't want to dilute yourself with bad content. Maybe it's just a video saying hi to your clients and your prospects. Hey, I just thought I'd pop in and hope you have a warm and wonderful day. Thanks so much for being a wonderful person. And then that's it, right? That is so personalized. That is so much better than sending them something that's 13 pages that they just don't want to read. Okay, I will wrap this up with what I feel to be some really important feedback, if you will, from your peers. Right? What your peers are saying matters more than what I say, right? Because I'm not a financial advisor. Now, I've spent my whole career working with financial advisors. I've learned your behaviors. I've learned what nourishes you, what doesn't as business owners. But when you hear it from advisors themselves, it's just so much more profound. I'm going to read out Michael Gary's testimonial real quick, because it's one that we hear almost all the time. It says, more response than any other communication I've had in 14 years. 14 years. John, thank you for commenting. John says he's been sending 2 to 3 to his cold list, but it's not working. So I love that you shared it's a cold list. I'd love to dive deeper into what those 2 to 3 interactions really look like. Are they personalized enough? Are they curiosity evoking enough? Are they valuable enough? Are they relevant enough for that list? As you start to send different content topics to your list, you can start segmenting your list too. Right? And I'm sure Elise and Angela have talked a lot about this, and they support you with this too, but segmenting your contact list, right, based on who's actually clicking and engaging and reading things, which we know through technology, it tells us these things. Then you can start to say, well, this part of my list is really engaging with content on taxes. All right, I'm going to put them in a tax bucket, and I'm only going to start sending them content on that. Maybe I'll diversify here and there, but that's what's moving the needle for them. Right? And vice versa. So think about that, John. Thank you for sharing that. I want to help you as well. In fact, I think that the free micro email template might be something you could try out, John, on the cold list. It is an email template. You all will get the email template with instructions on how to use it. And then we have a free marketing masterclass access for all of you. This is a professionally created marketing masterclass that our CEO put together. It goes even deeper into the cold to gold framework than I did. And finally, there's a free lead magnet checklist. So we talked about open loops. That's just one of our strategies. There's 8 strategies on that checklist that we use at Snappy Kraken. You can use yourself. The last thing I'll share, because some of you, actually most of you are concerned with this, and it is a big barrier to creating your own content sometimes, is compliance. So how does Snappy Kraken make that process more simple for you? Well, the best thing is that all of our campaigns go to FINRA for review, except for one type. It's the timely emails. If they went to FINRA, they wouldn't be timely by the time we got them back. But all of our content goes to FINRA for review. We're knocking that out of the way for you. If you do make changes to it materially, then we'll highlight those changes for your own compliance department to see. So we do make compliance very, very simple. And I'm going to leave you with this. Where can you go to learn more, right? We've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about a framework, how to get to that same end goal digitally versus what you've been used to probably your entire career and the years you've been advisors. We've talked about the power of nurturing, the simplicity that's needed there to really move the needle for people, using open loops, being more human, right? Not fearing that robo-advisors are going to take over your jobs. They're just not. Now I want to help you understand, where can you go deeper with us, right? Where can you go deeper with Snappy Kraken to learn more? So I've got a page here on the screen, and what I'm sharing with you is that right now we're running a very small special. I don't know if it will be in effect by Tuesday, which I think is November 1st. So it is an October special, but you can try using our program. You can launch campaigns. You'll have access to all of our content for $99 for 3 months. After that, you can cancel if it's not for you. It's not for everyone, right? We definitely want to figure out and feel it out if we're a good fit. But if it is working for you, then you just hop into our annual plan and you pay monthly. Where can you learn more? If you go to partner.snappykraken.com/CSM, then that will lead you to this landing page where I'm going to take you. Here we go. And all along this page, this is our partnership page. If you're here and you opt in, we know you're coming from this webinar, which is very important. because you all, if you start working with us, you get a fantastic discount being part of the network here with Custom Strategic Marketing, Elise and Angela. But you'll learn a lot about the program, things I didn't even talk about. You can book a demo anywhere along this page. You can easily see what the pricing looks like. The discount you get, which you can see is pretty significant from our street pricing. And you can book a demo with our team. We would love to chat with you. Angela, Elise, thank you so very much for having me on today. I hope this was valuable for your audience, for you guys, and thank you for being such wonderful partners for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'd like to throw in, and I'm going to surprise Angela with this. If you go ahead and sign up for that trial, drop us a note and let us know, because then we'd love to have a conversation with you to talk about, Snappy has so many great things out there. We can talk about what's the right fit for you and your firm as it relates to your ideal clients. So we can kind of throw in that added bonus of having a conversation with you, because, there's a lot going on here. And like John was saying, I do these 2 to 3 outreaches a month. But again, if you're not choosing the right content for things that your clients want to hear versus what you think your clients should hear, you're not going to get the response. So we would definitely love to have a conversation with you about that.
Absolutely.
Surprise, Angela.
Not a big surprise. Absolutely.
I love
We're
it.
happy to have that conversation because again, we've seen it time and time again, what your clients or prospects want to hear and how they want to hear it usually isn't how you think they want to hear it, and what you think they want to read or hear isn't what they actually want to hear. So we can help you
Exactly.
navigate that and figure out how to pick the right content on Snappy Kraken and how to disseminate it correctly.
Love it. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks so much,
everyone.
Diana.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thanks,
day.
everybody. Appreciate you
Bye.
coming. Enjoy